What Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice are like behind closed doors revealed by former butler. Welcome back to Royal Saga, your premier destination for exclusive stories from the Spanish monarchy, British royalty, and royal families across the globe. If you've been with us, you know we deliver the real stories from people who've actually lived inside palace walls. And if you're new here, subscribe right now because a former royal butler just broke his silence about Beatrice and Eugenie, and what he revealed will shock you. Paul Burrell, who served Princess Diana and has maintained connections within royal households for decades, just gave a rare interview about Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie that's causing massive buzz. But here's what has everyone talking. Paul revealed a secret tradition the sisters have maintained for over 15 years, something they do every single week that no one outside their inner circle knows about. And it involves their mother, Sarah Ferguson, in a way that's so touching, so unexpectedly beautiful, that when you hear what it is, you'll understand why these two women are nothing like their public image. Stay until the end because what Paul revealed about the moment Eugenie confronted a senior royal who insulted their father will show you just how fierce these princesses really are. Main content. Paul Burrell has been in and around royal circles for over 40 years. While he's most famous for his service to Princess Diana, he's maintained friendships and contacts throughout various royal households. His insights into Beatrice and Eugenie come from multiple sources, staff members who've worked with them, events where he's observed them personally, and conversations with people in their inner circle. According to Paul, the biggest misconception about Beatrice and Eugenie is that they're spoiled princesses living off royal privilege. The reality, he says, is completely different. These are two women who've had to build lives for themselves with absolutely no royal support system. They don't get taxpayer money. They don't get official royal roles. They've had to create their own identities while carrying the weight of that royal surname. Paul describes both sisters as extraordinarily grounded, given their circumstances. He shares that Beatrice, in particular, is intellectually curious and socially conscious in ways that would surprise people. She's apparently deeply involved in various charities focused on dyslexia awareness and children's education, causes she champions privately without seeking media attention. About Eugenie, Paul becomes particularly animated. He describes her as the rebel with a heart of gold. According to Paul, Eugenie has maintained friendships with people from all walks of life, artists, activists, people who have nothing to do with aristocratic circles. She doesn't curate her friendships based on social status, Paul says. She genuinely connects with people who are real and authentic. But here's where Paul's revelations become particularly touching. He reveals that every Sunday morning, without fail, Beatrice and Eugenie have breakfast with their mother, Sarah Ferguson. This isn't just a casual family meal, it's a sacred tradition they've maintained for over 15 years, even when they're traveling or have conflicting schedules. They make it work. What makes this tradition especially meaningful is what they do during these breakfasts. According to Paul's sources, the three women use this time to talk about everything: their fears, their struggles, their triumphs, and most importantly, how to support their father through his ongoing difficulties. Paul says, people criticize Sarah Ferguson constantly, but what no one talks about is how she's raised two daughters who are fiercely loyal, emotionally intelligent, and completely devoted to family. That doesn't happen by accident. The weekly breakfast tradition apparently began during a particularly difficult period when Andrew's controversies first became public. The sisters and their mother made a pact: no matter what the world throws at them, they'll face it together as a united front. And they've never broken that pact. Paul also reveals something that few people know. Both Beatrice and Eugenie have turned down multiple opportunities for paid media interviews, book deals, and reality television offers that would have made them millions. They could have cashed in on their royal connections 100 times over, Paul says. They've refused every single time because they won't exploit their family or their titles for money. This financial restraint is particularly notable given that neither receives an official royal allowance. They support themselves through their careers, Beatrice through business consulting, Eugenie through her work in the art world. They've chosen dignified employment over easy royal exploitation. But perhaps Paul's most explosive revelation involves a private confrontation at a family gathering. According to his sources, during a dinner at Windsor Castle about 2 years ago, a senior royal made a disparaging comment about Prince Andrew within earshot of Eugenie. The comment was apparently cruel and dismissive. Eugenie didn't stay silent. Paul's source describes her standing up, walking directly to this senior royal, and saying something along the lines of, "You can criticize my father's actions all you want, but you will not disrespect him in front of his daughters. He's still our father, and we love him. If you have a problem with that, we can discuss it outside." The room apparently went completely silent. The senior royal apologized. And Eugenie returned to her seat, composed but unyielding. Paul says this moment exemplifies who these sisters really are. They're not doormats. They're not apologizing for loving their father. They're protecting their family while maintaining their dignity. That takes real strength. Build to finale. But Paul's most stunning revelation involves what happened when Queen Elizabeth summoned both sisters for a private conversation just months before her death. What she told them about their worth, their future, and a specific role she wanted them to play in the family going forward. Call to action. Before I reveal what Queen Elizabeth asked of Beatrice and Eugenie and why that conversation has shaped everything they've done since, hit that subscribe button. This is the real story of resilience and loyalty. Drop a comment. Do you respect how they've handled everything? Closing tease. Here's what Queen Elizabeth told them, the role she asked them to fulfill, and why it proves these princesses are far stronger and more important than anyone realizes. This is powerful.